Hello, how are you? Today I brought you a delicious treat for your afternoon snack or breakfast. It also works great as a healthy snack. If you're looking for a little toast or a cracker to include in your routine, but want something low in carbs and high in fiber, you're going to love this recipe. On top of all that, it's high in protein, really delicious, and super easy to make. Stick around until the end, you won't want to miss this. Before we start, I want to ask you if you have the habit of eating toast, crackers, or potato chips as a snack. When do these fit into your routine, or do they not at all? I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, that's really important to me. It shows YouTube that you support the channel and trust my content. Getting the ingredients is super easy. Just check the description where I have everything organized for you. So here in my bowl, I'll first mix the dry ingredients, then we'll add the savory ones, but honestly, it's all very practical. The first ingredient I have here is chia seeds, and I'm going to add them right away, along with ground flaxseed. They're like cousins, so I'll add both of them in first. Remember, both chia and flaxseed have a lot in common, that's why I joke that they're cousins. They're super rich in soluble fiber and form a mucilage. This mucilage helps with satiety, weight control, gives a feeling of fullness, aids intestinal transit, helps control blood sugar, and helps with cholesterol. It's wonderful. Besides that, they contain anti-inflammatory fats, which are precursors to omega-3. I'm also going to add a bit of oregano here, some dehydrated onion, and a little bit of baking powder. I'm going to give this a good mix. These seasonings are to taste and optional. For example, if you want to make it with just salt, that works too. But personally, I think the more seasoning we use, the better, because we get more bioactive compounds, and not just that. We can also reduce the sodium, which helps with weight control, fluid retention, and so on. You notice that I didn't add salt here. That's because I'm going to add another ingredient that's naturally a bit salty, but this always depends on your own diet. Here, I'm also going to add almond flour. If you don't have it or don't want to use it, you can take peanuts and blend them until you get a flour like this one. If you'd like to use another type of healthy flour, such as oat flour or chickpea flour, that's totally up to you. I used almond flour here because I want to control the amount of carbohydrates, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And almond flour is quite rich in fiber and healthy fats, has much lower net carbs, and gives a really nice consistency to the cracker. To finish off the dry ingredients, I'm going to add grated Parmesan cheese. Remember I told you I was going to use a savory ingredient? So that's it. The Parmesan, since it's a naturally saltier cheese, I chose not to add any extra sodium here. No additional salt to the recipe. The smell of Parmesan is so good. It will also help add a bit of protein and give the recipe another layer of seasoning. Now we just need to get the liquid ingredients to make this mixture. I'm going to set this aside here because now I'm going to blend the cottage cheese, which is an excellent addition. Very high in protein, low in fat, and also very rich in calcium, so it's going to make it really creamy. I'm also going to add the egg here, which is also super high in protein, rich in vitamin D, has healthy fats, and contains choline. So I'm going to make a little cream here to add to our dry ingredients. Let's blend this really well then. Now we transfer it here, mixing everything together really well until it's nice and smooth. Then you just need to bake it. It's so practical. Look how wonderful this is. The smell is amazing. Make it at home, you're going to love it. So now just give everything a good mix and I'll explain the baking part to you in a moment. So I grabbed my baking tray here, lined it with parchment paper, and now I'm going to do the following. I'll take one of these ice cream scoops, sprinkle a little sesame on top, and with the same scoop, I'll flatten it down so it gets really thin. Now I'm going to do the rest, but this time I'll do a bunch at once to speed things up. I'm going to bake them at 360 degrees, and then I'll come back to show you how they turned out. Hold on. So I used half the dough and got 8 out of it. I'll make the other half later, and that should give about 15 or 16 in total. I'm going to put them in the oven, and when they're ready, I'll come back. Hold on. Look how cute they turned out. It's 15 to 20 minutes. It always depends on the color you want. And make these at home, you're going to love them. Remember, I have a playlist of spreads, pâtés, and mayonnaises that can go perfectly with this delicious treat. Tell me what you would eat them with. I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video. That really helps me out here on the channel, and share it with people who will enjoy it and those who need it. Let's grow our chain of kindness. That's what I want here on the channel. Let's try it. A little cheesy flavor. It's amazing. Really well seasoned. And it's very crunchy. Make it at home. See you next time. Bye.
Mmm.